And he goes on and he says in verse 15, Jesus died for all so that those who live would no longer live for themselves, but for him who died and rose on their behalf. So what does this tell you? Well, it tells you we've got a new meaning and we've got new purpose. We no longer live for ourselves, but for him who died. We no longer live for ourselves, but we live for Christ. Now, that's not an effort, that's a fact. Notice the difference between the effort and the fact. The effort is I got to make it true. I got to try to live for Christ. Oh man, make sure you're living for Christ. No, that's not the meaning of this passage. The meaning is you do live for Christ. Your old self didn't live for Christ. Your new self does live for Christ. In him you live and you move and you have your being. In him you have purpose and meaning. And there's a beautiful future, a destiny as we get to express him. And quite honestly, I mean, there's nothing better on the planet. If you've surveyed what Solomon had to say about everything else in the world being meaningless, everything is drivel, everything is meaningless, everything under the sun, there's nothing new. I mean, that's the wisdom of Solomon, but it's also the wisdom of God. He's trying to save us time as we chase after purpose and meaning, walking after the flesh. So God has the market cornered on fulfillment, and what Paul is saying here is if you're the new self, then you're rigged and you're hardwired and you're designed for the best kind, the deepest kind of meaning and purpose possible, the expression of Jesus himself, and it just doesn't get any better than that.